Hey there guys, welcome to another build and final review. Today we are looking at the Salvino JR models. It is the Blue Max Racing 1983 Pontiac Le Mans driven by Tim Richmond. It's the old Milwaukee number 27 Pontiac. How cool is that? How cool is it that I know how to read? Anyways, all laughs aside. If you guys have watched my previous videos, I have said a million times that I love NASCAR for one, but I love the old monogram NASCAR kits. When Salvino JR came out with the molds that Monogram had with newer paint schemes and whatnot, or not newer paint scheme, but the previously released paint scheme, I'm very, very excited. Very, very excited that they came out with the Le Mans. Now, didn't know what I was expecting with this one because 83 they would also have been Pontiac also would have been racing the Grand Prix. So when I opened it up, this kit is the Grand Prix kit. It came with the front bumpers, the rear bumpers, and the lights and whatnot for the Grand Prix kit. But it also came with a tree and a different body. Obviously, different body because the Grand Prix and the Le Mans are different bodies. But it came with a tree that had the proper front bumpers and rear bumper and airfoil, and obviously the little lights. I'll talk about those in a second. But a completely different body. The body fits over the old General Motors roll cage and chassis that you would have seen on the Buicks, the Grand Prix, and the Monte Carlos. So, without further ado, let's take a look at a Pontiac Le Mans from 1983. Da, 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 da. So, this kit here is very cool. I know I've said it a million times. I love the old NASCAR kits. And this kit was identical to that. Take a look at that there for a second. I'll talk about the tire here in a moment. I want you guys to take a nice look at that. So all the red is Duplicolor. Yeah, I totally lost my train of thought there. Duplicolor Victory Red. It was just painted over the primer to give it a little bit darker red. If you paint it over a white base, it actually comes out kind of a bright red. But did it over to dark red so you could get the darker finish on it, I should say. Engine, everything goes together really well. So, let me cut you to a previously pre-recorded part about the chassis. And then I'll meet you back here and finish talking about the body. So here's the roll cage. This roll cage is your typical monogram 80s, early 80s, mid 80s General Motors roll cage. They go together real easily. Just take your time on them. If you've ever built one, you know that they're need a little time on it, but they go together, and they go together beautifully. So, straight out of the box, let me show you what I did here. So it's just put together the engine, put together the interior, back. Let's start underneath. So the engine, just painted silver. Woo, silver, do the gold highlights, and then the rest is all still silver. Do a little slight black wash on the headers there, just to kind of give them a little depth. The drive shaft white with the silver goes into the gold, and then the yellow shocks. Sway bar is white. Like I've said in previous videos, I like to do that just to mix it up with colors. More colors, the better. The chassis itself, these are different tires than what Monogram has. These are definitely re-engineered. I don't know if I like them or not. They're different to work with. Little stiffer. A lot of flash that was on the edges of them. What I do is do the old the drill method. Put them on the socket and then do it over the sandpaper. Decals were really cool. I really liked the decals. They were sharp. Went on very nicely, very cleanly. Those are not broken. That's the way the A's were. Now this one and one on the other side, they went on very well. This one here I had a little bit of problem with. They went on very well, but when I put the dull coat, the tester's dull coat, which I do on all my NASCAR cars for the wheels to dull them down, I don't think these were dry enough. That's why it kind of faded upward. So, like I said, engine, shocks, did them silver yellow engine, yellow aluminum manifold, red distributor. You know, just do a little detail painting on them, and you know, make the colors look nice. Interior, did the seat gloss black with a gray. Dashboard is just black with the white. Panels with silver trim around it. I did silver on the floorboards over here. The water jug is actually white, but then I did a black wash over it to kind of give it that grayish look. You know, and then again, silvers to make it look nice. The window net on this car, I don't know if it was supposed to be white. It shows red on the box. I found a couple reference photos saying that it might have been white in a few races, so I went with white just so it kind of breaks up the color a little bit. Like I've always said, and I've said it a million times here, more colors the better. Kind of draws your eye to it. The exhaust, I just did with the silver, obviously, but then I just took a Sharpie and colored in the inside there, and then just kind of wiped around to make it look black there. Did that little molded in wire there, did that blue. The wire on the side there, the battery wire, I also did that blue. Now here's something I never do, because once you put the body on these things, you never see it again. But knowing I was going to do a video for this, I did it for you guys. I never paint the fuel cell, but for you guys I did, because they give you a real nice fuel cell in here. So I just painted it blue, trimmed it up with the silver. Flat black for the hose. Did aluminum on the canister here with flat black lines coming off of it. Like I said, in fact, I don't think I've ever painted that on a monogram kit. But that's just for you guys. That's exclusive right there. So, it sits very nice. You got to be careful on the rear suspension though. One of my tires sits a little high there. Kind of hard to tell from there, but one of the tires sits a little high. Rear suspension sometimes you might have a little problem with, but she sits sturdy. I have no problems with it. So let's put the body on. Alright, so there's my review of the chassis. Typical monogram, early monogram NASCAR kits. Very, very good. Very, very awesome. So the body itself, like I said, is a completely new mold for the car, with the front bumper and the rear bumper. Little problem I had with the front bumper, and this is a self-inflicted mistake, I believe. So when you go underneath the car, if you're familiar with these kits here, the bumper connects onto little tabs in there. It's just not going to even. There you go. Connects on little tabs. When I put the bumper to the body, and then put the body on the chassis, the bumper kind of wanted to split apart there. So if you test fit that before you do all that, you might be able to trim the tabs that are behind here so it fits together. So that might have been slightly self-inflicted, but either way it looks okay. The headlights here, headlight and grille, these are snap-in pieces. I just painted them silver, and they squeeze right into the front there. Tight squeeze, but they fit okay. The decals actually came out pretty decent after the solvent did its thing. It needed a lot of the, I don't have it here, that micro sol, the red bottle, to get the that decal around there, because that was a little bit of a bear to do. My hood stays open because, just like any of the other early NASCAR models, my hoods never want to close properly, so I get to display the engine on it, which is okay with me. So I talked about the rear, how I thought the rear tires, the one was a little higher than the other and didn't know if it was going to make it. Well, that was the case of this one here kind of comes out a little further from the body, and this one here kind of just got sucked into the body. So I didn't really want to take apart the suspension because those are kind of, these rear suspensions are a little bit of a bear to do. So I just left it. Figure this will not be the side that I will display it. I will display it on the other side. And obviously I talked about the tire there. The wheel decals. So the decals are really, really good. They use power slide decals for this. And they are very good. The gold striping, I think in retrospect, I would have painted the gold striping. Just because they're a little tough around the curves there. But other than that, the decals worked really, really well. The old Milwaukee on the hood there laid down really, really nice, beautiful. Sometimes with these big decals, they don't want to go. Got the nice hood pins again, like you would see on the monogram kits. It's inevitable whenever I do these kits, I usually lose one of the hood pins. I lost two of them, but they give you real nice decals for pins. It's not going to focus. There you go. To give you some real nice decals if you wanted to fill that in. And of course, I lost the pins, taking them off the tree. So just pop the decals in there. No biggie. The interior, windows go in from underneath. Kind of hard to see the interior through the net. There we go. The windows come in from underneath. They actually fit very, very well. Had no issues whatsoever with it. This is a very good laid out kit. Like I said, the problem, I got a little too much glue on the base there. Problem I had was, self-inflicted. The rear suspension was a little goofy, and if I would have test fit the front bumper to the chassis earlier. Other than that, this is a very, very good kit. So, Salvino JR models. Man, I gotta tell them, if anybody from Salvino JR is watching this, you guys are awesome. I really appreciate, putting out the old NASCARs, because I really do like these. These are fun. These are awesome. And excited for the new paint schemes that they're putting out. So, obviously, as you know, when I build another one, hell to the yes. I know there's another Tim Richmond Pontiac, number 27, old Milwaukee. Would I do that too? Hell to the yes. I know they got the Rusty Wallace 27 one too as well. I would love to do as many of these as I can. I mean, I have done so many NASCAR kits. It's just unbelievable. I can't get enough of these kits. So, my review, if you like NASCAR, get one. If you've never done a NASCAR kit before, get one. Just take your time. I know sometimes these roll cages and whatnot, they can be a little bit of a bear to do. But highly, highly, highly recommend these kits. Kind of a blast from the past. Really fun to do. So, let's push this up forward, and then we put this back there so we can see it. Gotta be honest with you. It looks like the box. So, that is my build and final review today. It is the Salvino JR Models Blue Max Racing 1983 Pontiac Le Mans. Tim Richmond, Old Milwaukee. Everybody, until the next build and final review, I'll see you guys next time.